What is up everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana Marchena Garcia and for today's video we will be unboxing the Sony RX100 VII. I'm very excited about this camera because this is going to be the camera that I'm going to be using for all of my YouTube videos. There are a couple of cool things that I wanted to share with you guys straight away because these are the 5 top things that I thought were very useful. So make sure you stay to the end so you won't miss those. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're not, nice to see you again. On this channel we will be unboxing a bunch of cool stuff and we will be talking about other random life information that I think might be useful. So let's get started. We will be diving straight into the unboxing. Of course, first off some paperwork, an AC adapter, a wristband, micro USB cable, strap adapters, a battery, and the main attraction. Let's get a good look. It has a nice solid feel to it. It definitely doesn't feel like cheap plastic. At the bottom, a slot for the battery and memory card. On one side we have the ports, an HDMI port, a multi-port, and a mic jack. On the top we have the viewfinder, the flash, and of course the mode dial, a flip-up screen, and a designated record button for videos. Until very recently, this camera was considered the vlogging camera because it is compact and has a fast autofocus system. It focuses within 0.02 seconds. Now I've set the camera up, so of course there are a bunch of things that you can just go through, for example the language and time settings. There's no explanation needed for that. But I've set this whole thing up. I'm gonna show you like the basic buttons over here. So on this side you have all the ports, and over here we have the viewfinder. I think that's pretty cool, especially on bright days. If you can't see it on the screen because of the bright lights, you can use the viewfinder. And what I also think is very cool is that at the moment that you put your face in front of it, the screen turns off because it can sense that you're using the viewfinder. So that's pretty cool. When you pop it back in, the camera shuts off as well. And over here is the flash. So my first tip would be just to go through the whole menu to give you a little bit of an explanation. Here are the main tabs. The first one, you see a little camera with the number 1. This is all the settings that have to do with taking pictures. Here you have one of 14 tabs within this tab. You just look through all of them, and then when you go up again, you go to the next one. And this one with a little camera and the number 2. This is all the settings that have to do with video, and this tab is everything that has to do with the network and with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, sending us to your television, connecting with the smartphone, things like that. So then we go up again. This has everything to do with playback. Just have a look here as well. And we go up again, and here are the settings. And the last one, here you can add your own shortcuts. So I suggest you just play around in here. But the first thing that I did to help me out as a basic beginner, I didn't know much about the different modes on this thing. So what really helped me out in the beginning is mode dial guide. I've put it on, and that really helped me to give me some more information about all the different modes. So for example, if you don't know off by heart what all these signs mean, if you put the mode dial guide on, you go for example to A, the screen explains to you what this mode is for. So in the beginning I thought this was pretty useful for me. I only knew the autofocus, so this really helped speed up the process for me to learn and get more familiar with all the other modes. So yeah, this was the first thing that I did, and this is my tip number 1. So the next thing that I would like to show you that I really like to do straight away is how to make a time lapse. So for a time lapse you have to go to the camera settings and you go to the 3rd tab, interval shoot function. Here you see it's not possible to put it on because it is on this specific mode. So I'll just change the mode that it's on. Alright, go back to the menu, and here you will see that it is possible to put it on. Here it's on. Here you can fill in within the shooting start time within 1 second of pushing, and the shooting interval. So you can put it in here yourself if you want to. For example, I usually do here 7 seconds. And you can fill here in the number of shots. Based on what you fill in here, the camera will calculate the shooting time. So if I'll do a shooting interval of 7 seconds and 30 is the number of shots, the shooting time will be 3 minutes and 23 seconds. That was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is how to film in 4K. Over here you have to go to the video settings, the second camera. Here you can choose the file format that you want to use, and here you can choose this one for 4K video. When you open this camera, this is not set automatically, so this was also one of the first things that I did when I started using this camera. As for the next tip is to use the stabilization that this camera has to offer. This one has one of the best that there is for a compact point and shoot camera. You go to the settings of the video, so the camera with the number 2, and you search for steady shot. On the third tab, you have here 4 options. As you can see, the intelligent active is not available at the moment. That's because I have turned 4K on my camera. And then you have the next best thing is the active, standard, and off. The standard is the stabilization that is in the lens, and here you have the active stabilization, and what it basically does is it crops a little bit of the footage for more stabilization. And if you use intelligent active when you're not shooting in 4K, it will crop a little more. So here you have like the middle way, and I think that's enough for me. And for my final tip, you should definitely have a look in the function menu. You go there with this function button, and depending on what mode you're in, you'll see here a couple of different buttons available. For example, because now I'm on the program auto mode, there are a little bit more buttons available to me that I can work with than if I were to be in the full auto mode. As you can see, you go over here, see, so there's a lot less available for me because all of these things are done by the camera automatically. It's gonna be a lot easier to find certain settings from this function button than to go way back into the menu. I also made a video about the top 5 accessories that I recommend for this camera, so make sure you check that one out as well. That was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button, it helps me out a lot. If you would like to see more from me, remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so you won't miss anything. I upload new videos every week.